And welcome back to episode of Ministry Truth. I am your only host on this show. I will always be your only host on this show, and that you know what? Because I didn't mute my Rumble account. There we go. Welcome back to another episode of Ministry Truth. I am your only host on the show, and I will always be your only host on the show. And well, what do we got for you today? Just a bunch of random shit I threw up between the last 4 or 5 days, and I was like, you know what? I should watch these again. And if I watch them again, maybe we can get some more people to see it. And they're like, you know what? That dude's fucking retarded. And which is okay because everybody's a little retarded in their own mind, right? Right. So before we get started, I want you to go get yourself a cup of coffee. I already had mine. I'm already on my energy drink. I've already had breakfast, so you can have breakfast. I didn't have a bagel. I actually had fried rice that was cooked yesterday. And, well, that's that. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope you go get your food, go get you some coffee, and even a bagel. We're not very Jew friendly around here, but yes, you can still get a bagel, and I won't judge. I won't judge. But why are you go getting that? We're gonna listen to a song, because that's what I do. That's what I do. So without further ado,
I rap for the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. I rap for the red, white, and blue. I rap for the red, white, and blue. I rap for the red, white, and blue. United we stand, divided we fall. I'ma ride for mine, I'ma stand tall. We going to war right now, let's go. I stick to the script, I live by the code. Watch out for the enemy, they fake and they lie. Find where they stay, I'ma set it on fire. Never back down, keep your head up high. I represent for the stars and the stripes. Red, white, and blue, salute to the flag. I'ma go hard till I'm in a body bag. USA, we don't play. If you go against us, we gon' push you in the grave. Red, white, and blue. I rap for the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. I rap for the red, white, and blue. Let the eagle fly. Real patriots.
America.
Never die. I got your six when the lights turn black. When the wolves close in, Forgiato got your back. I bleed for the red, I cry for the white. I back the blue and the stars and the stripes. 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 People ain't going out without a fight. I rap for the red.
We get that Gulf War fucking candy. No, those aren't chips. What's up, Dominic? How are you doing? Fine. Tuesday morning, I believe it is Tuesday. I hope you're doing very, very well. Considering you're in Colorado. I won't hold that against you.
We're free, but we ain't free. I love my country, but my government betrayed me. We the people gon' revolt. Wait and see. They tell me chill, Uncle Sam gon' hang me. I speak the truth, so you know the devil hate me. He got me drugs, no amount to try to pay me. They're taking me to anyone, but the one is fake.
What's up, Sam? Long time no see.
Prison sentence for a man who tried to.
So funny story, Dominic. It was supposed to snow today, but I woke up and looked outside, and all I see is a light dusting on my roof, and yeah, it looks like basically somebody just had dandruff and they put it all over the people's roofs and cars. Yeah, so it's pretty much bullshit. They told us 2 inches, but that was last week. I would definitely love some snow, but that's all part of living in the South. We do get snow. We do get snow. Where was your last catch at? Because I know they deleted your channel. At least I thought they did. Are you on Kick as well? Apparently that's a lot of people. I got 3 people that switched to Kick. Well, I don't have 3 people. What? Can you drop your link? That would be greatly appreciated. Now, this first story is from Oklahoma. So a guy was trying to find himself, you guessed it, a sex slave.
Prison sentence for a man who
Appreciate
tried
you,
to
Sam.
purchase a child sex slave online. He was living in Oklahoma and will now spend the next quarter of a century behind bars. News 4's Spencer Humphrey tells us the circumstances surrounding this arrest and a warning, these details are
Where the
disturbing.
fuck am I supposed to get that code from?
Things that are going on right now, I mean, it'd blow your mind.
Major Adam Flowers with the Canadian County Sheriff's Office is talking about
Fucking
the
Canadian.
disgusting, almost unfathomable world of child sex trafficking, he says is happening nearly out in the open.
There are numerous websites out there that cater to this type of black market illicit activity.
He says sex traffickers and their criminal clients often connect through everyday apps like Snapchat, Tinder, even Facebook, then buy and sell people as young as
All right.
infants.
They all
Thank you, Sam.
have
Thank you,
people
thank
that
you.
use these apps for illicit purposes. This is actually a code words that people use to advertise these.
Well, I
And
think
once
with the
you
9
are in the
degrees,
trade,
they
you
take
understand
into
what these code words are.
Flowers says that's what Braulio
Take the,
Luna was doing when
wind chill
deputies
into
caught him
consideration.
trying to buy an 11-year-old girl for sex last August.
We actually did an undercover operation. One of the ads that we put out was a mom trying to sell an 11-year-old, or a foster mom trying to sell an 11-year-old. And Mr. Luna responded to that ad and started making preparations
Luna,
to actually
huh?
purchase an 11-year-old for a sexual encounter.
They told him he could meet up with the kid here at this Yukon motel, where he did show up with a Happy Meal in hand.
We told the
God
suspect, Mr.
damn,
Luna, that she
Sam.
was hungry, and he offered to get her a Happy Meal. So that shows intent on everything that he was trying to do and gives us even more evidence.
Deputies arrested him at the motel, Luna later confessing he had at least one actual sexual encounter with a real child around the same age at some point in
What
the
a piece of
past.
shit.
It's kind of like a cold case. We know they're out there, we just don't know who they are. He wasn't forthcoming with that.
Luna pleaded guilty to felony child exploitation. This month, a judge sentenced him to 25 years in prison, ordering he must serve at least 18 of those years behind bars before getting out.
We have to put a stop to it.
In El
Hopefully he
Reno,
doesn't
Spencer
last long.
Humphrey, Oklahoma's News 4.
And Luna is a legal U.S. resident. However, he is not a U.S. citizen.
Oh.
He will be deported back to the country he is originally.
Yep. Oh, there you go. You were legal. Then you do some fucking fucked up shit. You're lucky all they're doing is deporting you. Wait. If he's sentenced to 25 years in prison, is he going to get deported after? Or like immediately to El Salvador in their prison?
San Diego's ex-teacher of the year was sentenced to 30 years in prison for grooming 2 students, age 11 and
I'm checking.
12. Here she is at her sentencing.
I'm speaking today because I am guilty of my crimes. I am deeply ashamed of my actions. and the
Whoa,
harm that I
what the
inflicted.
fuck?
I ripped away their childhoods
Dude, is that SWAT?
instead of following the path of what a teacher should be. I let my
Whoa.
selfishness override the boys' best interests. I'm so sorry. Boys this age should be playing outside,
Look at the
feeling
septum ring.
carefree, and enjoying their last few years of childhood. And instead, I thrusted them into adulthood.
Let's look at a happier time in this video titled, San Diego Teacher of the Year Jacqueline Ma explains how she
What's up,
connects
Deputy?
with distracted students. Really unfortunate title.
It Definitely social emotional learning and personal confidence is something that I try to push into my classroom and my students. And
By
I
having sex with
can't
them?
really say that I know exactly what the magic formula is. I'm still working on that.
It's safe to say she did not find the magic formula. The teacher originally pleaded not guilty.
The DA describing Ma as obsessive, possessive, controlling, and dangerous toward the victim,
Sounds like
stating
an
Ma
Asian
sent
woman.
him illicit photographs of herself and requested he record himself committing sex acts.
The victim expressed at times not willingness to go along with some of the activities or uncomfortableness with the activities. But that did not stop.
They were like
the
12 and
defendant from
13. What do you
continuing to
think?
message him.
But suddenly, that changed.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Jacqueline Ma's decision will lead to a lesser sentence.
You may be asking, how is 30 years a lesser sentence?
Before now, the former Lincoln Acres elementary teacher would have been sentenced to 180 years to life in prison.
Wow. It's nice to see judges being tough, but I wish this was more widespread. A few months prior, we saw another groomer teacher get sentenced, but this one got off much
She got
easier.
3 years.
There's no excuse for what I did, and I will not
This
try to
bitch
offer
got
one.
3 years. The other one got 30. How does that fucking make sense? And then that dude from Oklahoma, granted he wasn't a teacher, but he got 25 years, serving 18. So when are they going to deport him? What's up, Ryan? When are they going to deport his ass? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to deport him right fucking now? Deport him right into El Woodchipper?
I crossed a boundary that never should have been crossed, and I violated the trust of someone who needed to be protected and respected. I live every day with the heavy burden of knowing that I caused that harm.
Nutley looked startled when the judge lashed out at her for not showing enough remorse.
What I was looking for was for you to say that you acknowledge that harm and pretty much ruined the rest of his high school career.
Not even high school, but his life.
I didn't hear it. In this situation, I believe that the proper sentence
Look at this bitch's face.
3 years in prison on count 1, 3 years on count 5 to be served at the same time for an aggregate sentence of 3 years in prison.
And Emily Nutley seemed a bit surprised by that sentence. She was immediately placed in handcuffs and escorted out of the courtroom.
See? Teachers, dangerous. And it's funny when I think about this, like, it's one of those things I didn't think about when I was a kid, you know? Especially in high school. I never thought about, maybe the teachers are sleeping with students and that's totally fucking wrong. I don't know. And then you grow up. And I think I was maybe 2 years already in the Army, and then I was talking to somebody back at home. And I found out the old wrestling coach and baseball coach was caught having sex with a minor at a University Inn down the street from the high school. Well, it was a junior high and high school put together. But god damn, that was so close to home. And it was like a quarter mile down the road. Like, they got out of class, this piece of shit, Slaughter, can't remember his first fucking name, it doesn't really matter, because he's probably fucking dead by now. Because this was 20-something years ago, and he was already old as fuck. But, yeah.
An Afghan national was arrested in Texas just a day before the National Guard shooting in Washington.
Okay. So this is before the National Guard shooting happened. Or was it the same time? But this dude was arrested. Apparently he was building a vehicle-borne IED. VBIDs for people that know what that is. And those are very... let's just say they cause a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Because you're basically turning a car into a giant bomb. Like the Tesla car, but that was different because, well, that's just built different. But VBIDs, they're not pretty, and nobody will suspect them, because you just pull up. And I think he was trying to make it with a taxi or a rideshare type deal. So obviously he's going to be with a group of people and just, I don't know.
Washington, D.C., DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said the suspect, also reportedly let in under the Biden administration, posted a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posting, quote, The magnitude of the national security crisis Joe Biden unleashed on our country over the span of 4 years cannot be overstated. President Trump has directed his entire team to continue rooting out this evil within our borders. Our next guest is a U.S. Marine veteran who helped lead rescue missions during the Afghanistan withdrawal. Chad Robichaux joins us now. Thank you so much for your service, but also thank you for joining us this morning on this incredibly important story. You know, you did several deployments to Afghanistan. You
look at his cauliflower
alongside
ears.
A lot of these Afghanis, and I think you probably supported helping some of them get out of Afghanistan during that disastrous withdrawal. What were the problems you recognized at the
angry
time
when that withdrawal happened
with letting 80,000 Afghani nationals into the United States?
Yeah, I mean, I said this on Fox News at that time. I said this in my book that I wrote.
Look at those cauliflower ears.
When the NGOs were doing the evacuations,
Should have wore headgear
out of Afghanistan, not bringing people to America. In fact, no NGO, no individual has the ability and authority to bring someone to America. The only people that does is the United States government. And during the time of evacuations, we were watching the U.S. military forced by Joe Biden.
What are they going to do? Hang on that plane until it gets overseas?
Did an amazing job there, but forced by Biden's White House to put unvetted, undocumented Afghans on planes and fly them straight to the United States and let them loose in the interior of the country. 80 to 100,000 of them. And when that happened, I knew immediately, I mean, it can't go well. Eventually, one of them has to be a bad guy and is going to do an attack on the United States, and this would happen. I mean, that is one scenario. We also have the border that was open every single day. And our country is it has been just overrun by we don't know who. And this should be no surprise to anyone.
Well, one of the important points that I think that you have made is the fact that, so some of these guys were vetted, but they were vetted to become contract workers for the CIA, not vetted to come and live in suburban America.
Yeah, look, I worked in the special operations community for 14 years. When I was in Afghanistan, I was a DoD contractor on a JSOC task force. We had CIA-trained Afghans working with us. We had JSOC-trained Afghans working with us.
So were you recon?
We vetted them to work for us as combatants.
He was special operations in the Marines, so he was basically force recon. Third tier.
And there's a big difference when you know the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
They're great to work and it doesn't mean they wouldn't eventually be a good American, but the criteria of them working as a combatant doesn't qualify them to integrate in our society. There's a separate process for that, and that's the State Department's responsibility to do that. That's why when we got people like my interpreter Aziz out of Afghanistan, he had to go to UAE and wait 9 months for the State Department to do their due diligence process to make sure they were safe to come to America.
What happened to the president that took all the money and ran?
Yeah, you raise a really important point, because even if they were good, loyal friends and
when Afghanistan fell, their president took a lot of money and ran to another country. I can't remember exactly where he was from. Hey, no problem, clown. It's what I do. It's what I do.
The cultural differences are extraordinary. And
let me check his name. I think it was Karzov.
That maybe they have prior ideations about America, but the other thing is just the cultural shock of coming here. We don't know, maybe coming here and the duress of being here for years, feeling out of place, the cultural shock could also turn somebody against the United States.
Well, I mean, look, people are saying this, so it can't be overlooked. If you're an Afghan and you gave 10 years of your life to fight alongside the Americans, and now the rug was pulled underneath you, we abandoned our allies there. We left the most strategic place in the globe, Afghanistan, between Iraq, Iran, Russia, and China, for the Taliban to take over their women, their children. So maybe, and I'm certainly not giving an excuse for an Afghan that's here in America, but maybe they're here. They feel so betrayed by what the Biden administration did. They're back here driving an Uber because that's the only job they could get. Meanwhile, their mom and their sister's back getting raped every day by the Taliban. I mean, there's the Biden administration set up a very good scenario to be hated by these people.
Exactly.
And it's certainly an excuse, but it's.
I mean, I already didn't
we
like
have
them.
to recognize.
Yeah, without a doubt, it is not any excuse whatsoever.
You always had
but
that
it does
that
remind
threat
us
of an
all-
insider attack. You'll be training the Iraqi army, the Afghan military, Afghan police. And you always got to wonder, especially when you're walking around on an installation where, you're already red, which means all you got to do is take your weapon off safe and then you can automatically shoot somebody. Because of that specific threat. And it's happened, especially in Afghanistan. And we brought that shit here.
Let's take you out to a breaking news story in California. Police there are searching for a suspect after a mass shooting leaves 4 people dead and 10 others injured. After
3
this
children.
happened at a banquet hall in Stockton overnight. Officials say the victims range in age from just children up to adults. We want to take you to the Golden State. That's where we find Christina Coleman. She's live for us in Los Angeles. Christina.
Hi, Kevin. Authorities are searching for whoever killed 4 people and injured 10 others in a mass shooting last night. It happened during a family gathering just before 6 o'clock
Birthday party
at a banquet hall in Stockton, California. That's about 50 miles south of Sacramento. The city's vice mayor said this occurred at a child's birthday party. Again, the shooter in this case is still on the loose.
Our #1 priority right now is identifying the suspect in this incident.
And so far, no word on a motive or a description of a possible suspect, and authorities have not released the ages or conditions of the victims at this time. However, they did confirm the victims involved both adults and children.
This is Thanksgiving weekend. This is when families come together, celebrate, share memories, give each other love. And unfortunately tonight, heaven is a little bigger with the individuals.
What are you going to do about it, though?
Children and adults that unfortunately did not make it.
What are you and the police going to do about it?
Targeted incident. Investigators are exploring all possibilities to determine what led to this tragedy.
Violence of this nature has absolutely no place in any time, shape, or form, and children should not be harmed by gun and gang violence.
Oh. Did you hear that? The last second? Gang violence. That part they weren't going to put on TV.
Vinny, you had one thing here that you played, which it's getting very hot here. You had one thing that Rob, can we do a temperature like we stay on like a 73 instead of like...
Adam,
so
take your clothes off.
Tish Hyman, that's his way of going to the bathroom.
That's his way of going to the
bathroom. Tish Hyman calls out Eric Swalwell.
I love this.
And
this is all. I think I played this already.
To this, folks. Tish Hyman is the same lady who was in the bathroom when a transgender is in there changing with his dangling hanging out, and she goes out there screaming, and they kick her out of the gym, not Mr. Dangling, who was dressed like a girl with broad shoulders that can bench press 2 plates and a quarter on each side 10 times, that I believe beat up his ex-wife when he used to be straight, or something like ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
So, but here's
a big guy that could hold somebody down and commit a rape.
You saw the picture of his private parts?
No, I'm just saying.
You said big guy.
No. I mean, he's a
large.
Physically.
I see.
He's a muscular
I'm
man.
sorry. I just thought because I'm not. Rob, we can't show the clips. That if he has those videos and pictures,
oh my gosh! Hang on. I'm reading from Adam's
Tom,
notes.
stop it.
These are mixed up.
Okay, go back to. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Be men allowed in the women's room anymore. We need to know.
No woman should be harassed in a locker room. That's
Oh, this is from the other angle, guys.
Women, are you against men in women's locker rooms and sports? That's all you need to answer.
Look at Swalwell's face.
I know.
That should not happen.
It's happening all around America. There are 45 women and there are 45 men in the women's prisons right now, raping them, picking them out like chickens. The trans men are not women, and they're raping women. So I don't care if you're on the Democrat side, the Republican side. We need to be on the women's side, people. It's happening to our girls. It's happening to our women. And I'm here to let everyone
By the way,
know that this is happening.
Watch this.
What's up, Yeti?
No, just do me a favor. Pause it right there. Watch what just happened, Vinny. Go back 10 seconds ago. And I don't want you to look at her or look at Swalwell. Stay right there, Rob.
Okay.
Just look at the audience right there and look at their faces, nationalities, and see how many that clap for what she said.
Like Letitia.
Look at that, because that means they're in agreement with them. And this is in California, and Swalwell is trying to run for the governor of California. Pay attention to the audience, not Swalwell, not the lady. Go ahead, Rob.
So I don't care if you're on the Democrat side, the Republican
Watch
side.
what she said. Very common sense statement.
It's happening to our girls. It's happening to our women.
Yes, it is.
And I'm here to let everyone
Watch
know
this.
that this is happening. Open your eyes.
Who's clapping? Pause right there.
Nobody on
Who do you
that
see
side.
clapping? Not
Nobody.
a single person is clapping and agreeing.
They're just
with
looking at her.
because they're there to support Swalwell running for governor. Keep playing it, Rob. Wow, what a shame. By the way, before I come to you, can you do me a favor? You know what? Matter of fact, I'll come to you and I'll play Charles Barkley video. I don't know if you saw that one or not. I'll send it to you as well, Rob. Go ahead, Vinny.
And Rob, can you cue up the other one of Eric Swalwell, because I want to go to voting. Just really fast, Pat. You mentioned this guy
gonna help him get
is
elected.
running for governor. Okay, and if you guys remember, was it 2 weeks ago, Robbie, where we showed, and you don't have to show it, Rob, Scott Wiener, who's going to be taking over Nancy Pelosi's spot, doesn't care about men and women's bathrooms. He's so pro LGBTQ, whatever.
Oh, with a name like
I want
that.
people to understand. I'm curious, number
Scott
one.
Wiener,
Where
no relation to Anthony Weiner, but you know what? They might as well be.
are all those loudmouth pro-woman, what is it called, Adam?
Feminists?
Feminists.
Where are they at? Where
Third
what's
wave
his
feminism,
name?
completely
I'm drawing a
different.
blank. Who was the Supreme Court justice that was going up,
Brown.
and everybody and
Jackson.
their mother from Alyssa Milano?
Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah. I'm here for you, Vinny. I got you.
I love
baby.
you. How many women were, oh my God, what he did to women in high school, even though he had a freaking documentation.
He liked beer, bro.
Yeah, he liked beer and all the, remember that whole Me Too, and where are you all at? Tom, I'm genuinely curious. Here you have a black lesbian
Woman.
Democrat who's like,
Real
she's
woman.
screaming at the top of her lungs. This is going on week 3. It's almost been a month. Where are all the prominent black voices to stand up for this girl? She's out here by her damn self. Where's the gay community?
That's
Where's
actually
the
a really
black
good question,
community?
'cause she is a
Where are the
lesbian.
feminists? You guys ain't doing shit.
The
for
answer
this.
is she's stepping out of line. And what
Yeah.
she's stepping out of line is because the victim du jour is the T. And that's what the Dems need. The Dems need victims to support victims, to claim that conservatives and others are taking away freedoms.
What
And
vid-
so they believe it. They don't want their daughters in those locker rooms. They don't want their daughters molested. They don't want that to happen. But they're not going to say it when the guy who was tricked by a Chinese spy and was playing hide the salami with a spy is now running for governor of California, and they're ignoring that from his background. They're ignoring the victimhood, and this is a rational woman saying,
died there,
I
guys.
was at a
Almost
gym,
died.
I worked out, I took a shower, I was changing, and there's a guy
Flashing
there.
me.
It says a tall, muscular man who had the physical capability of committing an assault, and it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, and by the way, here's what Charles Barkley had to say about this. Vinny, I'll come back to you. Go for it.
Very simple for you, Dan. Men should not play sports against women.
100%.
I'm not going to get into all the bullshit that's going on out here in the world today. If anybody thinks that, I think they're stupid. I'm not.
Can you say retarded?
I support the gay community 100%. I support the transgender community 100%. But I do not, under any circumstances, under zero, think that men should play sports against women. And if anybody have a problem with that, they're going to have to get over it, because I'm not going to change I'm not going to change. I just think it's wrong, period.
Hell
If
yeah.
people disagree with me, I'm good with that. Hey, we disagree. I'm not mad at you.
Can pause
I
right
don't
there.
hate you.
And by the way, this is a guy that probably didn't vote for Trump, probably voted for Kamala, probably voted for Biden, probably voted for Obama. But what he's saying is, hey, Democratic Party,
believe
if you
Barkley
keep
is a
talking about the
lifelong
shit,
rep.
we're going to keep
Yeah.
losing.
Yep.
And Vinny, what's this video?
Yeah,
Is this
I
the
know.
phone call video?
Yeah, and Pat, I'm just,
Vinny, you okay?
I can't even speak. How is this still even an issue? Men with penises, okay, not transition, which I still don't give a shit because you still have the testosterone. How is it still an issue that you're able to go in a woman's restroom, take your pants off. And she's like, oh my God, there's a guy in here. And there's little kids in the gym as well because parents bring their kids. And then number two, men and women's sports. As if we didn't learn, especially with that freaking Middle Eastern boxer that looked like my freaking cousin Eddie beating the shit out of women. I don't get it. I don't get it. And this party is still hanging on to it. And this is a clip, guys. If you want to know who's going to be running for governor, as if Californians, you already got the worst of the worst with
Yeah,
Gavin
you got
Newsom.
that fucking
You nailed it.
angry
Mr.
lady.
Fang, who was one of the worst, who farted live on national television and tried to
He
deny
did.
it.
That
He
should just
actually
be
did.
grounds for
He is-
dismissal right
this
there,
guy's
right,
the
Vinny?
one of the most incompetent
You're outta here,
ones
Rob.
on the
He
market.
farted live.
Pat, he farted
Oh, he
live,
farted.
and you could actually hear it. I'm going to find it for Rob. But this is him
Unbelievable,
saying that,
Vinny.
guess what? He wants people in California and nationwide to be able to vote by phone. Go ahead, Rob, play this clip.
Which is wild.
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian
Vote by phone.
Vote by phone.
Look, vote by
If
phone?
we can do our taxes, do our make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online. You should be able to vote by
Text
phone.
Fang
Make
Bang.
it safe. Make
That
it
is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard of. Voting should be in person, not over your phone. That's how you're gonna fucking win elections right there, isn't it, there, Swallows well.
secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama
Wait.
when it comes to like.
Did you say some states are already voting by phone?
I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better. It's already happening online. You should be able to vote by
Text
phone.
Fang
Make
Bang.
it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to.
Yo, where in the United States are they voting by phone, Swalwell? Because that should be a huge issue that goes all the way up to the Supreme Court. Where are they voting by phone, Swalwell?
Be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy. Also, as it relates to democracy, if you wait in line for 30 minutes or more, if you do want to vote in person, I think you should fine every county for every minute that
That's
person has to
stupid.
wait longer. We
That's
have
why
to
there's
be
multiple
better,
voting
not just
locations,
a little
idiot.
bit better
Why don't you do
than the
this?
other states.
Why don't you do this? You
Oh,
what
like
solves all
Hartsville,
of
we
that?
got 10 different
Make
locations.
voting day a national holiday. Just do that. That's simple. Everybody can go vote. Make voting day a national holiday. What? How big? What is a bigger day than the day where?
I think what they should do, but I guess this would be segregation, is have those fuckers in their own league, division, whatever. Keep them away from the fucking normal people. If you're like 312th in the men, and then you're like second in the women's, that's a problem. It's a huge problem.
Hiring our next boss.
There isn't.
To make the decisions
Besides
for the
4th of
country.
July and
Next
stuff,
leader.
this is it.
Yeah. So why don't you just announce it's a national holiday?
Yeah.
Everybody go vote on that day. Why not do
Which
that?
it should
Put
be.
all the votes on the blockchain so that they could all be audited, one per person. You have to be
Although
here.
we do have a special election today.
Boom. Guess what?
Easy
the
peasy.
The Democrats
Which I voted
rebel
2 weeks
against
ago.
everything that is not
person.
manipulable. All you have to do is look under all their arguments. Why do they argument for absentee ballots? You can harvest them. You can go to old folks' home. You can fake them.
I remember when absentee ballots were mainly for service members serving overseas.
Why do they want no ID? Because you can bust people around in circles. You can be like Chicago, vote early and often. It's election day,
Yeah, exactly.
right? That's what they want. Whenever you talk about, they always want to talk about control, freedom of speech, or the right. But when you want to talk about controlling elections with blockchain or some things that we have sitting right in front of us, the answer is no, 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 no. And then you look at the map, red, blue, and it all speaks out. So, their words talk loud, and the numbers that scream is the voting fraud.
And that and I know I want to come down real quick. This is the Democratic Party in a nutshell. Keep the border open, import terrorists to come here, give them all the money in the world, and guess what? If you're a guy that says that you're a woman, get your ass into that bathroom and assault and just make everybody unfreaking comfortable. That's their entire platform. That's it. Because nobody can give me an answer on anything that they're running for positive. Go ahead. Give me one. Adam, what would be the main, no, and I'm being dead serious, the number one...
Have you ever seen a trans man show up in a men's locker room? Ever heard about that? Yeah, me neither.
Democratic like campaign slogan push is what?
We're not Trump.
There you go.
That's it.
There's no
They don't
policy.
have
Go ahead. I'm
anything.
sorry.
Well, the reason that you were like stumbling on your words and you couldn't find your words,
My brain hurts,
is
Adam.
because the word you're identifying that you're trying to find is identity hypocrisy. They're playing this whole identity thing. So you ever heard the thing where it's like, well, listen, that might be the truth, but this is my truth.
Yeah.
When you say
Fucking
my
Crockett
truth,
says
you know what could be true? Whatever you make up in your head is my truth.
It's a definition of moral relativism.
So here you have, listen, support your lesbian black women, of course. The lesbian black woman that doesn't want full-on men in the women's locker room. Whoa.
No, yeah, we can't do that.
Relax.
Easy, lesbian black woman.
Chill.
Tease
Step back.
women
Voting
too.
block.
So she's the loudest person they would love.
So they
to
call her an
silence.
anti-Tom?
Somebody tells me that lady's not going away. Okay.
By the
You
way,
have a
I think she should
lesbian-
run for office.
I'm dead serious. I was going to say that.
What's
Not
her
in
name?
California.
Tish Hyman.
All right,
Not
Sam.
in California.
I think Tish
because look at the
Hyman-
round of applause she didn't get.
Oh,
By the way,
I bet
the other
you
side of the
Tish-
room was-
Tish, run for office.
Please.
Tish.
She's a rapper. Look how jacked she is.
Yeah, she's
she
a
would
lesbian
whoop
woman.
somebody's
So
ass.
it's like this. You remember
Not that guy.
but not,
Yeah, not that guy.
Oh, the guy in
Not
the
the
gym?
guy in the gym.
I don't know. What do you think?
Can
I
you
might
find that picture of the guy? It was a full-on man.
No, obviously.
He didn't even fake it.
He did his
By the way,
eyelashes, though.
this identity hypocrisy, when like so there was the governor race in Virginia earlier this month where you had a black Republican
Yep.
against a white Democrat liberal. Abigail Spanberger ended up beating Winsome Earl Seals. Support your black women. Support your black women. Stick up for your
Unless they're
unless she's a Republican. No, they don't. We're not here to support a Republican. When Larry Elder ran against Gavin Newsom, support your fellow black. No, not if he's a conservative.
He's a sellout.
Yeah, he's a sellout.
He's not
off the
black.
plantation. This whole misgendering and they, them, and my truth, it's all a fallacy. It's all a house of cards. So when you have someone who's clearly a black female who's saying protect the locker room from this quote unquote woman, that's a full on dude. No one in their right mind would look at this person and misgender them.
It's a dude.
But when he, with a dude with a dick, walks in and goes, I'm a lady, and then she's the bad person, she gets removed. This is California for you guys.
Yep.
Gold's Gym.
Run.
Fail.
Tish, run. Run for office. You run for office, we'll bring you on the podcast and interview you.
You know what would be amazing?
Go run.
You know what
run
would be
for
amazing?
office, yes.
You see how jacked she is?
Yeah.
I would like her to fight him right there
Yeah.
in a boxing match.
She'd win.
And let's see who wins.
I don't know.
I'd pay
Wow.
for that.
Okay. All right. So let's go to
Well,
the
he
next
also
thing here.
he's 1-0 with the TKO against a former girlfriend.
put her in the hospital.
Did he?
According to legal documents and a charge.
Let's go to the
All
next
right,
story.
that's his
Let's
truth,
go to
though.
Gang, it's Black Friday. Odds are
That's racist. Black Friday's racist.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yo, Stephen A. Smith went off on the Seditious Six. And he makes a lot of sense.
Whom we had a very good dinner with this last week. Great
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Great combo.
Yeah, great conversation.
OG.
He has a caller calls in, and he breaks it down in 3 different areas in the most incredible way, wearing that phenomenal shirt. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. Stephen A., where'd you get that shirt
This
from?
is his
Text me.
Wednesday political show
watch
on
this.
Sirius.
Probably one of his
Watch
shirts.
this.
Yeah.
Respectfully, Senator, what the hell are you doing? Looking into the camera and telling military men and women to ignore the commander-in-chief. How dare you? How dare you do
Rob,
that?
is this the call? This is not the call.
That's right. I'm calling out. I
No,
never
this isn't
served-
the
This is not
caller.
the caller. So there's a guy that calls in. Okay, there's a guy that calls in and says, "Go ahead, caller," and he goes straight to the caller. You'll see it, and you have to listen to this caller. Okay, I have it. If you don't have it, I can text it to you. Is that the caller? No, this is it. Rob, go ahead.
Greg, Alabama, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Greg?
Stephen A., it's a pleasure to talk to you, my man.
Thank you.
I've been a big fan for you for years and years.
Thank you.
I'm a service member, and I can't really speak too much on this, but if I decide a direct order from my commanding officer, we get Article 15, right? There's a whole thing we do, right? But for a senator to tell us service members to defy direct orders,
Yes.
our commanders who we follow do not have a choice. Because if they defy those direct orders, then they lose their
Right,
career.
but they can't pick and choose. You can't, like I said the other day, you can't decide in the middle of a fucking conflict. You know what? This isn't This is unlawful.
To lose our career.
This point is made after. This point is made after he snaps at him. The clip is when he's calling them what happened with Nazis, what happened with Nazi Germany, what happened with all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, Stephen A. just blows up at this guy at the beginning of that phone call that was made, at that call that was made. Watch this here. Go ahead, Rob.
Eugene in Washington. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. First off, I want to say I love your
What's up,
show.
Angela?
I often listen to you. I do happen to disagree with you today on a certain point, especially when it comes to our Democratic leaders that stood up and told the servicemen that they could disobey illegal orders. And
now I'm starting to if these motherfuckers, and I'm like this all the time, if you've never served in the U.S. military, shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. I mean, if that applies to you, I'm sorry. When it comes to dealings with the military, if you've never been there, shut the fuck up. To include Stephen A., but
reason why is throughout history, even going back to Nazi Germany, those people that obeyed illegal orders, when they said, "Oh, I was just obeying orders,"
Stop that! You stop!
Get 'em.
No! You stop that BS right now. First of all, don't bring up Nazi Germany on this show when you're talking about American politics in the year 2025. We're not doing that to anybody on either side of the aisle. This is America. This ain't Nazi Germany. Stop it. That's number one. Number two, here's what I was saying. If you're going to quote me accurately.
Get them.
Identify the illegal orders you're talking about.
Boom.
Which nobody can tell.
Speak if you're a senator of the United States who served in the United States Navy as a combat pilot, and you're just going to throw out
I got more
innuendo and
combat missions
assertions
than he
without
did.
factual evidence to back up your claim. That's why they're investigating it. Military officials are different. This is not civilian. This is not the civilian life. You can't just do that. That's what I'm saying. He knows better. Now, that doesn't mean he committed treason. It doesn't mean he should be thrown in jail. But what it does mean is that Senator Mark Kelly needs to watch his mouth. If you're going to accuse the President of the United States of giving illegal orders, you need to say what those orders are.
Bingo.
You need to be specific. And you need to make sure that you understand that as a former military man,
He knew what he was doing.
that regular court of law don't apply.
What he did it. He knew what he was doing, but he's gonna watch them turn around and try to punish me, right? And then big bad punishment administration is trying to cancel the guy who was basically calling for a mutiny, right? The oath of enlistment is you will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the officers appointed above me. People stop reading at that point when it comes to, it says in the oath you will support and defend the Constitution. Right. But there's more after that. There's more after that, you fucking retards.
This is the military.
Watch.
This is the military. You understand? Military justice. Code of military justice. This is what that is. You don't get to do that.
UTMJ.
That's what I said. Go ahead and speak.
Okay, what I was saying, though, those illegal orders could potentially be the Mediterranean bombings of those boats.
Did he say that?
It's against.
It's not in the Mediterranean, you fucking idiot.
No, he did not
That's
say
what
that.
I'm
He
saying.
should have.
He didn't say it. He didn't say it. You got to say it. You can't just blanketly go out there and
So you
accuse
can pause
him.
it right there. So now
and say-
watch.
And apparently the caller doesn't know where the Mediterranean is. We didn't bomb boats in Mediterranean. We bombed them in the Gulf of America,
Not lately.
of Venezuela.
Right. But when you're watching this and you're watching the killing of the National Guard, all happened within a week apart. It makes you question a lot of things, Tom. What are you thinking right now?
What's up, Short
I
Bus?
believe we're in the first innings of a color revolution. I believe there's manipulation going on below the surface. I'm not going to build a 5-page treatise where I say, you know, this is what's going on. I'm not wired conspiracy that way. But I can see the facts. I can see a calendar. I can see outcomes. I can see the 2021 testimony in Congress. I can see Bill Kristol. I can see Lindsey Graham's question. Yep. I can see Josh Hawley. I can see Charlie Kirk. And then I see what's happening right here, right now. And I can hear, you know, the Allahu Akbar, I can hear what they're saying. And so I step back from it and I'm like, you know, I got a problem here. I got a serious problem here because all of these things are lining up and they're lining up the wrong way. And
all these politicians saying that the National Guard were Gestapo, they were Nazis, they're disappearing people, basically demonizing them. But now all of a sudden, it's Trump's fault. They never should have been there in the first place. Tell that to the people that where crime has gone down. Tell that to the people. It was working. So what do you do if something's working? You throw a monkey wrench into it.
I think if you made a pie chart of the Democrats, like a pie chart, and you said, what percent just are doing it for Democrat power and they're ignoring all the downstream effects, you probably have the huge percent, like 50, 60% of the Dems, hey, let's win the elections, let's get the people in here, let's do that. On the other hand, inside the rest of it, you've got people that have wanted the United States to join, you know, globalist organizations, the UN, to have more power. There's no conspiracy in that. There are people that believe that the sovereignty of the United States should be adjusted, that our Constitution should be adjusted or thrown out, and that we should join a more globalist organization. Soros is on record. People are on record. So now you see all this.
You destabilize the country. It's easier to swoop in and take it over.
It makes me very, very concerned when I see somebody like Mark
It's
Kelly.
a Soros tactic.
By the way, and let's remember, Mark Kelly's family went through, you know, a senseless shooting. His wife was a member of Congress
in Arizona
and got shot. You know, and has a permanent disability as a result.
Something Gifford, right? What was her last name?
Gabby Gifford. Gabby Gifford has a permanent disability. So, you know, it's not like Mark Kelly hasn't seen this, but to cross the line like that, I believe that the label the seditious six is correct. This whole thing stinks. I hate the timing, and I think all of it's coming home to roost, PBD.
Vinny.
And notice how great point, Tom, and the fact that you mentioned the CIA and the color revolution.
Arizona.
Notice that we're talking about the CIA working with the guy, the terrorist Afghan guy that shot the National Guard's woman. Guess what? Alyssa Slotkin, she's one of these seditious six. She's ex-CIA. She admitted, like, Democrats, there was no illegal orders, okay? And like a lot of people, Pat, also
same thing like Kelly said. He couldn't figure out one.
You know why they're opening? Because they know at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen to them. Nothing.
Yep. Nailed
Nothing
it.
is going to happen to them. Which one is this one, Rob?
Which
she admits?
Yeah.
Play that real quick, Pat, because I want
This
to
is important. This is very important.
Right now, do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes.
Okay.
And everything related to Venezuela.
And this is it, guys. And here's you know why they did what they did, Pat? This is the point I want people to know. You're gonna we have 2.1 million active duty and National Guardsmen. You're gonna make them, because think about the percentage, Pat. What, 3 to 5% that hate Trump? Maybe 6%. They're going to question orders.
Yep. And that's going to bring down morale.
Orders. You don't have time. You take your orders and you freaking follow them. That's the military. And this is the problem, Pat. They weren't just treasonous and seditious. There's a third statute I want people to pay attention to. Federal law, 18 U.S.C. 2387 reads, activities affecting armed forces generally criminalizes knowingly advising, counseling, or urging any member of the United States military to disobey, desert, or refuse lawful orders with intent to interfere with military operations or loyalty. That's what they did. Okay, and the penalty is 20 years, up to 20 years in prison, and $250,000 fine. Okay, they violated the law, plain and simple. Okay, and this is the ex-CIA chick telling them to undermine the authority of the commander-in-chief. All right, we have a chain of command, guys. It goes from E1 all the way to E09. Mike, is that what it is?
09 is
010.
010 is
010
officer,
is okay.
G4,
10.
Four-star general.
You break that chain, we fall apart. I worked at a nuclear missile base. Could you imagine the missileers? God forbid we go to war and it's a nuclear war. You want the people that are turning the keys to protect us to knock nukes out of the sky to go, hey, is this legal or is this illegal? That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, and they're undermining it. Okay? And this is you want to talk about slippery slope, Pat? That's the slope. That's the slippery slope, and they know what they're doing. But with the justice system we have, nothing is going to happen to these people.
Well, I'll just add this. This is all just symbolic of what the Democrats stand for at this point. They don't have a game plan of their own. Their only game plan is just reacting and doing the opposite of what Trump is suggesting to do. So is Trump anti-American? Hell no. Are Democrats anti-American? Well, if they're taking the 20% position on a Trump American stance, then they're going to fall into the category of anti-American. So earlier this week, we played the whole montage of these politicians basically telling military not to follow orders. And now when they question the politicians, they go, what was the illegal orders specifically? Well, I don't really have one. So you're making this commercial basically saying, don't obey Trump's illegal orders, but you can't name one illegal order.
Pat, did you see this, Adam?
It's mind-blowing to me.
Did you guys see these billboards in North Carolina? Bob, did you go airborne just to pull security for ICE? And what's that about to say? What's the actual website, Robbie?
Hold on.
I mean, I went airborne because
probably should trim those.
Not what I signed up for.org. And then look at the website, Rob. I sent you this as well. When you click on that website, I sent you the link on.
By the way, pull, for
Slack.
people who are not familiar with the military or don't have friends or family that were in there, when you say pull in the military, it means pull a detail, means take an assignment.
Yeah, exactly. Now, guys, and then if you click on the website, you saw the billboard, you have questions, you're not alone. Go ahead. But here's some proactive steps. Use encrypted, they want, this is where you get this whole whistleblower nonsense.
Oh, they want them to use Signal
encrypted
too,
Proton Mail, Signal app, so they could say, hey, we got this, this, and this. He's giving illegal orders. This is freaking dangerous, and they know what they're doing, Tom. They know what they're doing. And when you have this Slotkin chick who is ex-CIA, who to me means you're forever CIA, these are the people that sow the dissent, and they try to destroy the country from within. You're a freaking CIA chick. Nobody trusts your ass. Nobody.
Do me a favor. Go to that website and take that website and go to who is, if you just type in who owns this domain, you know what I'm saying, the domain lookup. Let's just do a quick domain lookup. I want to know if anything will come up on who is behind this domain. Okay? And put the domain in right there. If you go a little bit higher, go a little bit higher.
He already knows.
Yeah. Search. Zoom in. Who owns this domain? When did they buy it? August 28th.
August 2020. This is very new, right?
So they just bought this. So they've been planning
on
doing this for 3 months. Okay, so check this out.
Beautiful.
Take a look at this, you piece of mother. So they've been planning on doing this right before Thanksgiving for 3 flipping months.
Wow.
They registered on 8/28, okay? Updated on September 3rd. Go a little bit lower, Rob. I just want to know who owns this domain.
Just so you know, if this is all about Venezuela, which is what Lisa Slotnick is saying, the first military strike in Venezuela was September 2nd of 2025.
What
so
a
4 days
before
they knew they were going to do this. So go a little bit lower. Go a little bit lower.
Always
Can we see no, they're not going to tell us. No, keep going lower. What is that number?
Denver, Colorado.
But that's a number to that name.com website. Hang on, let me just call that number real quick. I don't think it is a... I don't think that's anything. I think it's...
If you find the P.O. box, it's probably to a registrar or like a bulk. You know what I mean?
What is that number, Rob? 720-800-9072.
And there's another one that was above it, Rob. And we're doing like some Nancy.
Thank you for calling Domain Protection Service.
Okay, so that's a domain. Okay.
But it said Josh and something, Pat. Did you see those names go up a little bit, Robbie?
Yeah, but those names don't
right there.
help.
Gene and Josh.ns.cloudflare.com. Those
okay,
are the
so
servers.
then if you are there any names such as Josh or Gene tied to this website?
Usually they use
Okay, so then this, by the way, this is what it makes me. Rob, can you tell them to turn off the AC? It's a little bit cold in here. So you know what it makes me think about?
We're heating it up.
No, let me tell you what I think about. Here's what I think is going on. August 28th, first attack to September 2nd. Then, it's going to sound crazy, The only way they know this, that an attack is going to be taking place on Venezuela, is
Insider.
either we already publicly announced it or somebody from the inside leaked it to somebody else.
He's a leaker.
And they said, let's get ahead of it and buy the domain and let's create this division.
A leak in Washington?
You guys,
So there's a leak in
if-
Washington. Oh, my
if
gosh.
that's
No
the
way.
case, and this is what they
Unheard
do,
of.
that's when you set up the domain, you're all dirtbags. That's what you are. You know who you are. You're a dirtbag.
And I
for
hope
setting
they
up something
find you.
like this. You want to see division in America and shit taking place to the next level? You're a qualified dirtbag is what you are. And you know who you are for setting up something like this. A few days prior to this, if this domain had been set, by the way, when would we have not questioned it if when this domain was set up?
A year
If it was-
ago.
No. Actually, if it was a week ago.
Oh yeah, even quicker.
If it was, if it was 2 weeks ago, you would have
Correct.
said, all right, that makes sense because it was part of the whole thing.
But they're all
But
reacting.
the fact that it's 5 days
Yeah.
before the first time, because it's August 28, 29, 30th, August is 31
September.
days, 31. First, second, 6 days before this.
Come on.
Yeah, there's something going
It's
on.
only a
here with this.
coincidence,
Anyways,
guys. Come on.
what a freaking weird. Rob, did anything come back tied to those names? Because I pulled it up right now to see if there's any Gene and Josh attached to it.
No, I believe it's just Cloudflare is the
Count behind it.
well, yeah, it's a service that connects the website to some type of
Yeah, they had an outage 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
they did.
A lot of
Yeah,
people.
weird.
They're a security layer.
Yeah, gang, it's Black Friday. Odds
A lot
are,
of systems were
maybe
down
not
for
our
that.
audience, but many people today.
Hmm. All right, I think that's all I got for today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all, well, children, 18 and above, because, you know, we're still children if our parents are alive. Anyway, it's a little bit what I wanted to talk about for the past couple days. And, yeah, all this shit I've been thinking, coming and saying it out loud, and it's good to hear other people say it. Other people say it. But anyway, hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I hope y'all have well, depending where you're at, hope you have good weather. Nice weather. It's 29 degrees outside, which is great. I actually like that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm not telling you how to think, because that would just be extremely retarded, and, well, I would make fun of you. I'm just telling you to think. Until then.